we should release this video.
Ines is almost at the age where you give birth to her. When did she get pregnant? I went directly against what they told me, and that was me being bad. I was not good. The thing is, pee and sperm comes out from the same hole. Guys only have one hole, and girls have two holes.
Oh, I wanted to have
That's so
sex
funny.
ed.
All you boys who are watching, better watch it, man. Hey everyone, it's me, Sarah X Miracle, and with me today is Ines and I. Today we're going to talk about why sex education in Singapore fails. We are going to go through another syllabus, point by point, and talk about what is it she actually learned. And I, as the mom, I honestly feel that it is a parent's responsibility to do sex education. It is not necessarily the schools, but a lot of parents, of course, leave it to the schools because they think, oh yeah, the school teach you, the school teach you, the school teach you what? This is what I'm going to find out because I don't know what they've been teaching her. Everybody is like, Ines is almost at the age where you give birth to her. When did she get pregnant? She is not going to, please. She doesn't even have a boyfriend. She will get pregnant when she wants to actually have kids later on in life, not now.
Have you seen childbirth?
Have you seen childbirth? Have you seen how much effort it takes to breastfeed a baby like that? To get him to this size? So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you like our content, you like our family, we hope you subscribe to our channel. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and we hope you'll follow us. Alright, so without further ado, Ines is going to tell us about her syllabus. Okay, let's go. Number 1, science and biology.
They cover reproductive system, the menstrual cycle, and contraception, STIs,
and consequences and issues
to abortion and
premarital sex.
I don't remember learning that. But the first 4, right, I learned it in Sec 2.
Is it in bio or is it in a
Yeah,
separate
it was
class?
actually in bio.
So it's part of your science
Yeah.
class. So what did they actually tell you about reproductive systems? Are you actually aware and
like-
understanding what's the whole point?
I thought they just teach you the parts.
The
man.
parts. Okay, so can you name me the parts?
No.
Do you even know your own part?
Vagina.
Vagina?
Ovary.
Ovary?
Fallopian
Tubes, yes. And then what's the big part where the baby goes? The uterus, hello?
Oh yeah, I was like, urethra, and I'm like, wait, no, that's excretion.
Urethra is where your pee comes out.
I know.
It's a whole altogether.
I know. Oh, cervix.
It's the covering of your uterus, that's right. The cervix is the one that needs to dilate. Ovary, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina or birth canal. Oh, look, an ovum, an egg.
Dilation.
It means opening up.
It's like your JJ.
Dilation actually refers to the cervix, not the vagina.
It's a cervix.
The cervix is the mouth of the uterus, right, which is closed. You can see it needs to open up. The vagina is where the baby passes through to come out.
I'm learning more
And that's
about bio
where-
than you from my bio teacher.
But that is your reproductive system. Do you know what is a guy's reproductive system?
No, I forgot.
Oh my god, what do you mean you forgot? And you don't even know any single part of a male anatomy?
Testis?
Testes? Do you know the function of the testes?
No, I don't even know where it is anymore.
They're the things that people call balls.
Oh!
And that's where the sperm is made.
Oh yes, it's all coming
The sperm
back.
is made there. Other than the testes, there's a tube that links the testes to the opening, which I think in males is also called urethra, isn't it? The thing is, pee and sperm comes out from the same hole. Guys only have one hole, and girls have two holes. Because you pee differently from where you give birth to a baby.
I don't think we should release this video.
What do you mean? This is biology. This is just that telling you this is the girl's biology and the guy's biology. Then did they tell you what actually happens? What is actually sex?
No.
Didn't they show you a simple diagram?
No.
Okay, no, I mean it can't be pornographic, but not that kind of diagram, but
No. In the textbook, it says the thingy goes into the other thingy and then it ejects the sperm.
kind of correct. The thingy goes into the other thingy and it ejects the sperm. That is kind of correct. Oh, and there's a paragraph on fertilization, where the egg meets the sperm and becomes a zygote. Did they tell you what's menstrual cycle? What's the whole point of it?
No.
What?
Wait, what's the point?
Wait, do you even know why you have period?
No.
Okay, do you know why is it when you're pregnant you have no period?
Hormones?
No! Yes, hormones, but every month, because when the egg comes out, the uterus is building up what you call a uterine lining, right? Which is made of blood. Be prepared for a fertilized egg to be implanted into the uterus lining. So then when it's implanted, a placenta will form. Placenta is a mass of blood cells and stuff where the baby's umbilical cord attaches to the placenta. And the point of the uterine lining is at any point, you cannot tell where the little ball of cells, when it's fertilized, is going to be implanted. It could be implanted anywhere inside.
I don't know.
So that's why you have blood. And so if you're not pregnant, that is why the blood comes out. You mean your teacher never explained this to you? You're in Sec 4 taking bio. Hello, this is like basic bio, my gosh.
I'm very crazy.
Sex education fail.
Main thing.
If you miss your period, that means that the uterine lining, the blood isn't like being removed, isn't like self-cleansing itself. It's actually being used to implant an embryo. And then there's a specific point in the menstrual cycle where the egg only comes out only like, and it lasts for 1 to 3 days. Did they tell you that?
Or maybe they did in primary school and I just forgot.
Fertile period, day 11 to 15. I remember having this also when I was in secondary school. It's the same timing in all the textbooks. Preparation for implantation of the embryo, that is after that. And menstruation is when there's no embryo. And repair of the uterine lining. Don't even know your own menstrual cycle. You have to understand the menstrual cycle because there's only one small window of time where the egg is out. And then when the egg is out, the sperm has to be there so that the egg and the sperm can meet and then therefore become a baby. So that's why when people are trying to get pregnant, I mean like married couples trying to get pregnant and have a family, that's why sometimes it's so hard because they cannot find the exact, like there's an exact precise window where the egg is out and the sperm is there. Get it? So do you understand now how people get pregnant?
CCE.
Respectful, responsible and caring relationships by promoting positive attitudes towards self and others. It's your self-love thing, ma.
People were like, how to stay safe online. They progress towards self-confidence and self-love. And then now there's form teacher guidance and also learn how to seek help sexually threatened or abused.
Next.
The Growing Years
Years program. It covers physical, emotional, social and ethical aspects of sexuality.
It also topics include very healthy and respectful relationships, dating, going steady and marriage, issues with sexual health and behaviors, consequences, teenage sexual activity and pregnancy, safety and protection from sexual abuse and grooming.
So what have you learned from all this? Okay, number one, building healthy and respectful relationships. Have they taught you about that?
Probably somewhere in like lower sex.
What do you think defines a healthy and respectful relationship?
Communication, honesty.
Having equal say in the relationship. It has to be some love, right? Dating, going steady and marriage. What is your idea of dating, going steady and getting married?
I don't know. Why don't you talk about your experience with dating and going steady and married?
I only got one boyfriend, your daddy.
I know, so just talk about that.
We were too young, but I was very rebellious and I think that was not good because grandpa and grandma always said, don't have boyfriend, blah 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 blah. I went directly against what they told me and that was me being bad. I was not good.
Then what is going steady? Is that just engaged?
Dating is more casual where you just go out with a person to get to know them, right? Going steady, so to speak, is where you feel like you're in a committed like girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. We're actually not going to date other people. We're just not just like casually dating. They're already like in a 1 year plus relationship. Yeah, so that's more like going steady. Although I think that going steady is a very non-Gen Z term. You get to the point where if you really feel the person is right for you and you think that you want to marry them, then yes, you get engaged. And even while you're engaged, there can still be a period of waiting out before you get married. Even if you are engaged, I know people who have been engaged and they got broken off somehow just before the wedding. I know people who like they got engaged, broken off, and then now re-engaged again. Sex is only one part of like a larger relationship, right? It's not the end all to anything. It's an important part of marriage. It's an important part of a committed relationship.
Next, teenage sexual activity and pregnancy.
Consequences. Well, because if you do get pregnant, you have to be responsible for the life that you have created. Of which we have a whole other video talking about that. If I'm a teen and pregnant, what do I do? Most teenagers, if you're not thinking straight, they're making emotional decisions that may sometimes have a lifetime impact. And not even just teenagers, right? Anybody who's not married but decides that they are going to give in for whatever reason, right? Be involved in a sexual relationship with their boyfriend and girlfriend. Boys can't get pregnant, but all you boys who are watching, better watch it, man. I think that people don't really understand the consequences and they don't see that if somehow you do get pregnant, there's a price to pay. I think after coming out of 16 years, I can say that I've paid the price, but I don't regret it because Ines is amazing and beautiful. There are consequences if you do decide to do that, and that's why your teachers ask you to practice saying no.
I think my teacher was like, okay, now we were all practicing no.
And how do you say no?
No. We were so tired. No one wanted to have
That's so
sex
funny.
ed. We just wanted to go home, man. This was literally the last lesson of the day, okay? This is all after exams. You just want to go home, right? No!
That's how you should say no. No.
Next one is influence of the online media on sexuality. I didn't remember learning.
There's a lot of hypersexuality in online media right now. All the relationships are hypersexualized. You see a lot of physical touch and you see a lot of over-romanticized so-called sex. Of course, in the movies it's all fake, or on TV shows it's all fake. Art imitates life, right? But sometimes art is giving a false sense of what life is really like. Or some common tropes in media, like, okay, you need to give sex to get love from a guy, for example. If you don't give sex to a guy, he's not gonna love you. Or two, that, oh, everyone is doing it, so like it's fine to do it. Normalizing having sex before marriage. Or three, like, oh, it's okay to just have like casual sex. Randomly have sex with somebody that you just met. It's very normalized now in the media. Of course, there are people who say that, no, it's my own right and my own body. I can choose whatever I do with it. But as a mom, as a parent now, that is not how I want my kids to think about sex. You should not have sex with random people that you just met on one night stands. And if you are planning to be in a committed relationship, you want to reserve your access to only one person who you should be married to. In that marriage, that becomes that beautiful, intimate point of the marriage, something that you only have with the person that you married. Rather than every time, let's say you have sex, you're thinking about all the other people that you had sex with in your life, which is a horrible thing, right? The media has a lot of influence on how young people think that, oh yeah, it's okay to just do it for the immediacy of it, whatever like feels good in that moment.
Is safety and protection from sexual abuse and grooming.
Do you even know what it means to be like groomed online?
I guess.
So this phenomenon called grooming, where like so-called like these sexual predators or whoever it is, like I call them that, right? They actually like try and make friends with like younger girls or younger boys to help them feel like, oh, they're not lonely, like take an interest in their life, like strike a conversation online. And then after that, they're of course asked to meet and then ask for sexual favors lah. Has any random stranger messaged you online?
No.
I thought a lot of random people message you online.
Oh yeah, God. I just like, okay, block.
Okay, so that is a good practice. If you don't know the person, it is safer to block them than think that you might know them. Because if you really know them and they really know you, they will find other ways of like talking to you, right? They won't just randomly Instagram DM you. It's good to block people that you don't know.
Just say no.
A lot of young girls, like your age or younger, they may be groomed by people that they do know. Older guy friends, friends of family friends. They feel very ashamed because they don't know who to tell that they've been abused. They were asked for like sexual favors and they didn't know how to say no, or they were raped. They don't really know who to tell. I mean, this is very unfortunate. We don't wish for that to happen to anybody, but if you have been a victim of any kind of sexual abuse or you feel like you've been taken advantage of, you really need to tell somebody that you trust. If you are a minor, you really should get it reported because this person may have been committing a crime. Tell somebody that you trust, okay? Empowered Teens Program 1. Information on sexually transmitted infections.
This is what I had last year.
Abstinence.
Right.
And how to avoid contracting STIs and HIV. Skills on making responsible decisions, being assertive, and how to say no to sexual advances and resist peer pressure. All in all of this talks about sex in a very surface level way. It doesn't really kind of explain like, therefore then why is sex so necessary if they make it such a bad and stigmatized thing when you're a youth. Does it feel like you don't even understand what's the point of sex? What is the point of it if like everyone's just telling you, oh, it's like bad, you contract sexual diseases, you get pregnant? Does it feel like the sex education program puts sex in a more like negative light?
I guess.
There is a positive need for sex in marriage. When God created, men and women were made for each other and made for sex, but within the confines of a committed relationship where there is a lot of trust and there is a commitment and actually a covenant in our Christian terms. But you don't have to be Christian to believe this. Therefore, when the world kind of takes something like that that's meant to be a beautiful and intimate thing to be shared by a husband and wife and distorts it, and in media it becomes like hypersexualized, you just expose all this stuff, and like let's say if your peers are all doing it and you feel like, oh, I'm left out or I need to be the one who's also trying it out, you kind of lose the sense of therefore then what is it for? Sex is not a bad thing. It is a good thing, but within certain constraints and within the boundaries of marriage and a committed relationship. If you have a marriage and there's no sex in the relationship, then there's something wrong also. Because that means that you're not actually connected to your partner. And many marriages break down, like the first thing that goes is that they stop having sex. So the function of sex can be very binding, and it's meant to be binding in a relationship. Outside of that, you have like multiple partners, you kind of like bound to them in a certain way already. It's not easy to break off all these bondages that you have with people when you've already kind of like given yourself to so many people in that way. It should be a positive thing, but reserved for a specific relationship and for a specific time in your life. It's not necessary for you to do it or engage in it just because everyone is doing it, or just because you feel pressured by your boyfriend to do it. You should not have to feel that way. And I'm sorry that if any of you watching this feel that and you've said yes unknowingly, but it's okay because you can always make amends.
Pav, in 16 years.
Kids at 32?
I don't have kids so old, but then like,
You're a grandma at 16 years?
Have to find a boy that we can approve of.
You need a man, not a boy.
okay everyone, this has been my sweet little girl, Ines Miracle. I'm Sarah X Miracle, your miracle mom, and yeah, my big miracle needs to go for Violin. So till next time, we hope you subscribe. Oh, time already. Ouch. Sorry.
My big miracle stepped on my foot.